Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys. Here's Nick Eatman.
Good morning. Welcome to Cowboys Storyline, Friday, October the 10th. It's our last show of the week. Cowboys taking on the Panthers. We'll go to Carolina tomorrow for the third straight year. Yay! A lot of good times in Carolina all the time. Love their place, love their stadium, love their security team, everything that comes with it in Carolina. But usually there's a win, and it's like a home game, so that's always a fun time. We'll see if the Cowboys can get to 3-2-1. Let's hear from you guys. 888-855-2297. Let's go to the phone lines. Let's get it started. Dylan from Northport, Florida. What's up?
Hey, Nick. Good morning. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, man. You know, this week, listening to the show, a lot of emotions, a lot of people calling in, and just happy to be part of this community, man. Just for anybody listening out there, I know we all talk on Twitter and chill and stuff, and anybody ever needs to just bounce anything off anybody, just needs listening here, man. You all already know, but just, reach out to me. And I know there's a lot of us that way too, Irene and David, and there's a lot of really good people out there in our community. So
Sure.
just want to throw that out there and keep that in mind.
Of course.
Yep. As far as football goes this week, first off, you get thrown out of the stadium. Good luck to you there with their security. Carolina's front, their actual interior defensive line's pretty good, but their linebackers aren't, and their secondary is not so good. So offensively, hopefully Dallas can kind of just do whatever they want to do. Offensively, defensively, as long as they win first and second down and stuff the run on those downs. Bryce Young's very bad on third down. He's like almost less than 50% accuracy rating on third down. So just get to third down, keep him at a third and short, and you'll be just fine. Score prediction for me is going to be 34-20 Cowboys.
All right. Thank you, Dylan. We've heard this about, this defensive line is really good. The other parts of their game, not so good. I mean, think about what you've heard this year. Philadelphia had changed right early in the game when Jalen Carter left. But, the Giants, that's what they have. They have a great pass rush. And the Cowboys put up 37 and then 40. The Packers, obviously, with Micah coming back in and what they've done, and they had a great defensive line. And, the Cowboys put up 37 and then 40, and then the same with the Jets. Those are the guys up front, that you expected big things from. Quinnen Williams, McDonald, the pass rusher from Iowa State. Cowboys put up 37. So it's not the first time we've seen teams like this, and the Cowboys have done a really nice job. Obviously, I think Dak's rolling right now, and so they keep that going. And I just don't think Bryce Young and that offense is going to be able to keep up with what Dak and this offense is doing right now. All right, let's go to Brian in Kansas City is next.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Brian.
Hey, I just want to echo what everybody else has been saying. Of course, love to see people supporting each other, and certainly we all think about Sebastian and Randy this week, and glad to see that. That turned into a great community here.
It certainly has.
And I was thinking, you already brought it up. I was thinking, wasn't this the stadium that Nick practically got arrested in? So
I didn't get arrested.
Yeah,
I had
I'm
the option.
exaggerating.
I had the option to get arrested. That was one of my two options: get on the bus or go to jail. So I chose the bus. I wasn't happy about it, but it was really dumb. It was a dumb situation. But it kind of all started. Had nothing to do with us. You know how it is when you see it. We see it in football all the time. The guy that hits the last one, he's the one that gets the penalty. Yeah. Well, I was the 12th guy. Okay, after all of the things, and Jerry had several parts of this, and I think by the end of the game, they just had enough of the Dallas Cowboys, and I took the brunt of it there.
Oh man, I love that story. That's funny. Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? I'm going to say this week they're going to have had enough of us too. With half the stadium is going to be Cowboys fans anyway. So I think this is going to work out something along the lines of 33-14. And seeing as Zach already picked the obvious player, I'll go with a player that played for both. Also, the Red Rifle himself, Andy Dalton. All right, brother. I'll talk to you next week.
All right. Yeah. The story that I have for Andy Dalton is not a great one, and it reminds me of just the worst year that we've ever covered the team. And not just cover the team, but just in general, just 2020, how bad it was. But I remember every morning, every day you had to go test, take a COVID test. And I remember a guy is sitting in his car, kind of like, you could tell he was mad. And it turned out it was Andy because he had just tested positive for COVID, so he wasn't going to play this week or maybe the next one. I mean, I can't remember. I think it was about to play Pittsburgh, and then that's why Gary Gilbert was the starter and all that. But I remember it's like, this guy's not happy, and it ended up being Andy Dalton, and he didn't get to play in the game. What a crazy time that was. And it reminded me of later in the season when so the Cowboys have their start, already down starting quarterback with Dak hurt, and then here's Andy Dalton, and he gets COVID, so he's out for this game. So and you just move to the next guy, except if you're playing Baltimore on the road on a Thursday night game or whatever night it was supposed to be, Monday night game, and Lamar Jackson has COVID and he can't get back until a few days later. Then they'll move the game to a Wednesday. So that's what happened there. Not salty about that one at all. Gary in New Mexico is next.
Hey, what's up, Nick?
Hey, Gary.
Way to bring back those memories of 2020. Boy, it sure makes 2025 seem a whole lot better, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Our offense is so good this year. I mean, it's just fun to watch. If our defense can just catch up a little bit.
Yep. 100%.
All right, I got a trivia question for you.
Okay.
All right, Carolina week. Okay, so name the Super Bowl winning Cowboy that was on Carolina's roster in 1996 when they killed our dynasty.
Name the Super Bowl winning Cowboy that was on that team. Is that what you're saying?
Won a Super Bowl with us and then went to Carolina.
Man.
And he was on their roster in 96 when they beat us in the playoffs.
Okay. This is an obscure player. It's got.
Well, no, not really.
What position?
Let me say it this way: this Super Bowl winning backup was a backup on the '96 Carolina team that beat us.
Well, then it does kind of sound like he was kind of an insignificant player. I don't know. Wendell Davis. I have no idea.
No, man. Steve Berline. Steve Berline was not an insignificant player. He got us a playoff win there in '91. And he was the backup in 92, and then he went to Carolina and was the backup to Kerry Collins in 96. Ended up having like a Pro Bowl season in Carolina later on, I think, about 99. But
Yeah.
Good guy.
I didn't know that.
All right,
didn't know he was your backup. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. It's hard to find good Carolina trivia questions.
Not true.
Not a lot of history there.
Not true, Gary. If you go to the website right now, there's 20 questions. We have 20.
Now, I've looked for this and I can't find it.
It's on the website. Like
okay,
it's a story. It's just called Trivia Thursday, which is I think it's still there on the website right now. I could have a trivia question for you.
Go ahead. I'm searching. I'll search for it. There it is, I think.
There it is. Go ahead, Gary. What else you got?
Okay, here's my question. Let's get back to this year's team. So, depending on how because that last night's game, that changed a little bit of stuff for us. Philadelphia's now dropped 2, so things are starting to take shape. And how Dallas plays, if they beat Carolina, now you got Washington coming next week. Things could turn in the right direction here if we catch a break here and there. And if they do that, especially with Flournoy coming, do you see any possibility? And then I'll hang up and listen. We're kind of heavy at wide receiver, it looks like. Could you see them moving Tolbert to maybe pick up a defensive player if things fall the right way?
All right. Thanks for the call, Gary. And yeah, Trivia Thursday. Every Thursday we have about 20 questions that are related to the game, the opponent. It's all Carolina questions. Kurt Daniels and I kind of team up with that. Some pretty good stuff this week. But I'm watching highlights of the Eagles and Giants. It's kind of funny when you see this game and you're like, well, should you be even more disappointed that they didn't go win that game in Week 1 against Philly, knowing that they really aren't that good this year? Not as good as they were, and they're not playing as good, but I still think that they can turn things around. They're a tough team to beat for sure. But then you look at Week 2 and like, well, maybe the Cowboys are fortunate to beat the Giants. The defense is getting better and better, and the quarterback, the running back, they're figuring things out. So when you see that, those are two teams you're gonna have to face again. You get Philly at home, you got to go to the Giants at the end of the season. The Giants are a team, and I remember saying this. You guys probably heard this after that game against the Giants. I said, hey, the good news is that you won the game. But also, the Giants are going to beat some teams. They're not going to roll over. They're going to be pretty good. So they're going to be in the mix there. I think they're going to kind of it's going to be an interesting division. When this all shakes out, this is going to be very interesting because I think right now, as it stands, these teams look pretty competitive with each other. Washington's going to win some games. The Cowboys are right there. I think Philly, Giants. So as for your question about receivers, let's get everyone healthy first. Let's see what that looks like when everyone is healthy. You get Turpin back, CD back, everyone back. Then when you really have a problem, you're like, all right, we have Mingo back. That's when you could maybe say, all right, we have to do something. So, now, I just feel like these things have a way of working themselves out. And as soon as you think you have too many receivers, you end up with not enough. So, right now, as it stands, Jalen Cropper and Jalen Brooks were both elevated to the roster. So, until that doesn't happen, let's see. But yeah, I could see them, maybe making a trade and seeing what's out there, or just a release if they have too many guys. All right, Zach in Germany is next.
Nick, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. It's been a little while. I've been calling you since the Giants game.
Oh wow.
That's how busy your phone lines have been.
Sorry.
But that's a testament to the show. No, it's good. Hey, I'm glad to listen every day and hear the feedback.
Thank you.
Cat came out the bag, by the way. My wife borrowed the phone. She's like, "Who did you call 164 times?" Ooh. So we had to have the intervention talk. It's just Nick. I'm sure I'm not the only one out there. But no, I'm so proud to see how much you've grown over the last 2 years.
Is it like an iPhone where it says like the number off to the side?
Yeah, it says the number on there. She's like, "Who are you calling?"
Jake from State Farm.
Yeah. Wow. I was about to ask for the bat phone number. I was like, "Look, I might need to reach out to Chris or Nick and get this squared away."
Yeah, especially because what time is it? Like, what time is it?
Right now it's 5, so I'm just getting home from work.
5 p.m. 5 p.m. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm, I think 7 hours ahead of you guys.
Okay, that's not that bad then. All right.
No.
All right, Zach. What do you got?
What I wanted to really get into today, I think 2 things. One, I want to give a shout out to Shotty. He has changed his team, and the reason I say that, in the years past, when we lost a player, not as many as we've lost this year. If we lost a player, Tyron Smith went down, or if we lost a guy like CD, the team collapsed. And he has his team playing and competing, especially with the odds against him when you look at the defense. The defense, obviously isn't playing well, but Dak's playing lights out, and we're competitive and beating teams or tying games that people thought we would lose. So that's the first one. Second thing, if you had asked a question about GM for a day, a couple weeks ago. First thing I would do is sign George Pickens, and I'll tell you, if with CD out, he just got himself paid big time because he shows that he could truly be a number one. And the reason that that's a benefit for us, imagine what's going to happen when CD does come back. Yeah. Somebody's going to have one-on-one coverage, And then the last piece to that, by signing Pickens and look at what your offensive line's able to do, one, when they're healthy, and also the backups, offensive, we're pretty squared away. Over the next 2 years, I would use our top 6 picks, so the 2 from the Packers, 2 of our first-rounders, and 2 second-rounders, and draft all defense. Do what Philly did a couple years ago, where they just went heavy draft and defense. They rebuilt their team, put all the money on the offense, which is what we have already, and, draft young, fill in some holes, and see what we could do in a year or two. But culturally, I could see the change, and I'll hang up, listen, just
Okay.
get your feedback.
All right. Well,
Thanks, bro.
thank you for the call. Not a terrible strategy. I don't know about all 6 of those. I mean, you still need to, figure out what your best move is as far as offensive line. It does seem like they've got some pretty good linemen here, but at some point you might need another tackle or running back if you want to if you're gonna go that route and get someone special. When I say that, I mean that's what you're expecting when you draft a running back high like that. But yeah, I mean I could see a lot of resources going to the defense over the next few years. But it's a good problem to have as far as signing Pickens. If it's the money works, and right now we talked about this yesterday. What his agent, and it's in the same group as Micah's agent and David Mulligetta. It's not exactly his same agent, but still, it's not going to be easy. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter who the agent is. They know that they're projecting him to have a really, really good season, and so you're not just going to sneak in a contract this time of year. So when you do that, when you draft, when you sign 2 receivers like that, you do wonder. It's all good when they're winning. They're winning. Look at the Eagles when they won. It was great. Well, now their offense is struggling a little bit, and correct me if I'm wrong, are both of those receivers chirping? Both those receivers not really loving what happens when they don't win games and the ball doesn't go their way, and now we're starting to tweet out cryptic messages and things like that. And all I'm saying is now you're talking about these 2 receivers. They haven't been quiet when the ball doesn't go their way. I'm talking about Pickens at Pittsburgh and, of course, CD here. So I'm not saying not to re-sign him. I'm just saying that I think I want to see a little bit more of this offense and see, how this year goes. I think he's a great player, and I want to see how it goes, But there's going to be some games where they don't win, and see how both of them handle it and all that. But if this is a true 1A, 1B, then I think they're really working with something here. All right, let's go to Robbie in Cocoa Beach, Florida.
How are you today, Nick?
Hey, Robbie. How are you?
I am awesome, except it's raining. But I'm taking the kids fishing this weekend on Saturday, and then Sunday we're watching a football game.
All right.
Good day. Great days, It's a good weekend coming up.
Cool.
So my boy wanted me to call, or he told me next time I call to give his prediction for the game. This is from RJ, and he said 41-27. I said, you think we're going to put up a 40 burger? And he said, yeah, Dad, we're going to whoop them.
All right. 41-27. All right.
I said, why 27? He said, well, we're going to keep them out of the end zone, and they're only going to kick a couple field goals, but they're going to get in the end zone a little bit. It's like, okay, well, that makes sense.
Sounds like somebody that's watched some games this year. That's kind of
He's
what happened.
watched every game with me, man.
What happens.
It's been a great year.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, man. Hey, God bless. Have a good day. Give our love to all the storyliners, man.
All right.
Appreciate the whole community you made for us, man. Bye now.
For sure. Well, thank you. Have a good weekend and have fun going fishing. And see if the Cowboys can get that 40 burger. 41-27. That seems possible in a game like this. I know this is famous last words, but I just don't see Carolina scoring that much. And I know what defense that I'm watching here, and I've seen for 5 games, and I know what Russell Wilson did, and I get it, but I don't know. I think I just turned in a score of 34-24, so it's not that far off. I just don't see a true high-scoring game. I think the Cowboys' defense is going to be their best game, and I think last week was, and maybe the week before that started to see a little bit more. I think this will be their best defensive game. All right, keep the streak going. JR in Avondale, Arizona. JR, what's up? What's our number? 11?
I think it's 11 now. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Trying to keep it going. How's everything there in Dallas?
It's good. I mean, are you feeling the pressure now to like, oh my God, gotta get it? I mean, to keep this streak going?
Absolutely. I had a really good friend of mine in town, and he's a great guy. Had back surgery. He's from out of town, came here for a specialist. And he had called me, and I was like, man, I don't want to hang up on my boy, but I got to start calling, man.
I love, especially with a guy that's going through back surgery, or he's going to see a specialist, and he's here, and he's got all this stuff. Can you imagine if you trying to explain to him, like, I have to go because I have to call this guy in Dallas about this show again for the 11th straight day.
He's actually a big Rams fan, and he's like personal friends with. He grew up with Andy Reid in California, so he has all these pictures and stuff from Andy Reid. So he's a great guy, and I'm glad I got to talk to him, and I still get to talk to you. So
if I was friends with Andy Reid and I was a Rams fan, and then friends with Andy Reid, I'm sorry, I'd be a Chiefs fan. I mean that would be enough for me to switch over to be a Chiefs fan if I was friends with Andy Reid. You know, I mean, I'm looking for a reason to be a Chiefs fan. I'm like, yeah, I'm Andy Reid. Anyways, what do you got, JR?
Yeah. No, so some of the things I was going to talk about, y'all already talked about, so I won't waste the time on that. But it's just when I think the Eagles are about to run away with it, the NFL reminds me that it's a parity league. It's a week-to-week game, and it's now they're basically a game and a half ahead of us. And the Cowboys. But I thought the 10-7 was going to win the division, and I think it still is. And if that's the case, the Cowboys are going to be there at the end.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that the gauntlet they got to run through near the end of the season is just going to make them a stronger, more physical, better team, and they'll be ready for the playoffs this year because I think we're going to make the playoffs. And I want to say one thing about Dak. Just really tired of – I know we all are about always playing great, but so my question would be to everybody, can you name a team, a quarterback who is a great quarterback, MVP quarterback, who was on an average team that ever won the Super Bowl? Because I can name a whole bunch of average quarterbacks that were on great teams that won the Super Bowl. So as hard as it is for me to admit, I just think the Cowboys haven't been good enough.
Yeah.
We're just not good enough. I push the Kool-Aid away and take my cowboy goggles off and take a serious look. Just haven't been good enough.
All right. No, you're right.
I got a feeling about this year, though, and I can't explain it to you. Like I've been a fan my entire life, and I'm 66 years old, but this year just feels different. I just feel like something's coming. And I hope I'm right.
All right.
But anyway, that's all I got. Have a great weekend. Be safe and go Cowboys.
All right. Thank you, JR. You can't worry about those comments and the people that say that. I mean, that's what they think about the Cowboys. And they're not covering it week to week. And so you get asked about it. I'm like, yeah, they look good now, but let's see what happens. Okay, cool. I'll be honest, at 2-2-1, I hope they get there. I hope they get to the playoffs. I mean, that's not going to be an easy road to get there. So, it wasn't too long ago where it didn't. I mean, after the Bears game, is anyone thinking that? Or thinking, man, playoffs? And now, the Green Bay game was kind of weird, and then all of a sudden the Jets game, and they'll see what happens in Carolina. And this is the time to start maybe stacking some wins if you can. But I mean, just getting to the playoffs is still a goal. I mean, I saw, I don't know who does the analytics stats and whatever. There was a 31% chance the Cowboys make the playoffs. I mean, that can change dramatically now, with a win this week and all that. Just like in your fantasy game when you have an 80% chance of winning the game and then you lose, and so percentages I don't know if I agree with anyways. But anyways, let's go to break real quick on Cowboys Storyline. Be right back.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Crown Royal and the Dallas Cowboys are bringing back the Royal Rig for Season 2. See it in action at AT&T Stadium on Thanksgiving Day, when the Dallas Cowboys take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and around Dallas on November 26th and November 28th. Visit crownroyal.com to see where else the Royal Rig is stopping this NFL season. That's crownroyal.com. Please drink responsibly.
Altec Lansing has been perfecting sound since 1927, bringing you decades of audio excellence to elevate your Dallas Cowboys tailgate ritual. Equip your next pregame with the Sound Rover 180 with 6 hours of playtime, built-in microphone, multicolor light modes, and a rugged exterior that's built to last. Visit alteclansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off your Sound Rover 180. That's ALTECLANSING.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off. Altec Lansing, official audio partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys.
Tickets still available for games at AT&T Stadium this year. Teams like the Chiefs, Chargers, Vikings, Cardinals, Eagles, Commanders still come to town. Commanders are next. They'll be here next week. You can get tickets at SeatGeek.com, the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. All right, back here on Cowboys Storyline here, getting your predictions, getting ready for Friday's game. We got Steve in New York on the line. Steve, what's up?
What's up, Nick?
How are you?
All right, I'll keep it quick. My prediction's 28-17, boys. And we were just talking about what people were saying. After the Bears loss, I saw mock drafts on Twitter. So, it's a long season. Everybody's got to relax.
Which means you clicked on it.
it was there. It came up.
You clicked on it. You're like, no wonder who the Cowboys are going to take.
Yeah, exactly. Which leads me to this question for you. How much of an impact, if any, do you think the game last night has on the Cowboys making a deal before the deadline?
That's a good question. I didn't think of it that way. I think the I think Jerry and Schottenheimer, I think they feel like they're in it. They're in it anyways. But maybe so. Maybe a little bit more obtainable to go and win this division and be the best team in this division. I kind of think. But I feel like they aren't going to make a move for this year. I feel like they're going to make a move for the next couple of years. And so if it's here, it's here. If it's there, I don't know if they feel like they need another guy to be better this year. But we'll see. I mean, these next 2 weeks are real big. Carolina, Washington, you should win. I think you should win both games. But the Washington game is going to be, I think the record's going to be about the same. Both games were super close last year, right. So that one's going to be like a telling point of like where do they really stand right now? Yeah,
and the division, like I said, this division, I hate using the term, but when I say up for grabs, I mean I don't know. At this point, I think they are definitely in it. All right, the quick trivia I saw on the website. The former 88 who caught the pass in that game, the 2002. Probably, I know you remember the game. I said it at the time. It was 55 minutes of the worst football I've seen the Cowboys play. And you remember how that at the end with Quincy Carter. I mean, that was just Now, in that game, Rodney Peete was one of the quarterbacks for Carolina. Do you know who the other quarterback was?
Well, Rodney Peete wasn't the starter in that game, was it? No.
Well, the other quarterback, I'll give you a hint. He won a Heisman Trophy.
Really? I mean, if I had like 10 minutes here, I could definitely get that. Chris Winkie.
Chris Winkie, you got it.
Yes.
Great job, Nick.
Ooh, sweating there. All right, cool.
Thanks, man.
All I could think of was the Nebraska quarterback. I don't even think he even played. Crouch or whatever, but I was just trying to think of that time. You know that funny of that game. You're right. That game was a terrible game.
Oh my God, it was awful.
Like 13-0 or so, but it was an 80-yard tipped pass. That was lucky pass
to Galloway.
He was just behind the defense. Quincy tried to get it there, got deflected. He caught it, ran it in, and then you're like, oh, well, now the Cowboys are not going to get shut out. Maybe they have a shot to win it. And then the defense made a play, and then Antonio Bryant made one of the best catches I've ever seen, especially for a game-winning touchdown. to win that game. And I mean, the definition of stealing a game
Oh
is
my gosh.
that one right there. 14-13, 2002.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thanks, man. Have a good
Steve.
one.
You too. Let's go to Blair, Newport News, Virginia.
Oh, hey, Nick, great to be on the show today. Super excited. I hadn't been able to hear what you've been talking about, but if you don't mind, I'd like to just say a couple of things about this whole week.
Okay.
So I know there was some discussion the other day about, just the Jets, and it doesn't matter, we'll lose in the playoffs and everything. But I got to tell you, even this week has been a big journey with hearing about Randy and Sebastian and the storyliners and just being part of this community. And participating in all this is what makes those playoff moments great. We sign up every year to follow this team, and it's an emotional journey. It breaks my heart most of the time. But these games are what we live for. And I got to be honest, you look back a couple of weeks, and we thought, with this defense playing the way it was, things looked much more grim. It looked like Philadelphia was just going to, coast into the postseason, and Green Bay basically had it wrapped up. And now we're seeing, improvements on our defense and a lot of opportunity for the offense. And some of those teams are showing a little bit of weakness too. Man, enjoy the ride because it's fantastic. I'm super excited.
Right. No, you're exactly right about the journey. Did you have another point?
Yeah, just that I'm hoping to go to the game this weekend with Shelby. We're trying to get tickets and make our way down there. I was thinking about Carolina, and I just thought, I don't have a lot of good memories about the Cowboys in Carolina, but I was wondering if you did, because they broke my heart in '96 when we lost in the playoffs to them, and it's just always been cautious. But I'm hoping to get to the stadium and actually see a victory by the Cowboys and see us continue to build on this success. We're very excited. That's it. I'll take the rest off the air. Have a great day. Love you and Chris, and go Cowboys.
All right.
I'm predicting another 37 to whatever in a win for the Cowboys.
All right, 37 to whatever. Thank you for the call, Blair. Great memories of Carolina. No, not really. I mean, was there the funniest story that was probably 2007. There was a night game. Cowboys had a great season. We were at the hotel we were staying at had a basketball gym, like kind of on the second or third floor in the hotel, and shooting hoops. And went up there about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and me and another sports writer and T.O., three of us just shooting the ball. And he didn't say much. He didn't talk. He was just shooting. It wasn't one of those every time. Every time he shot it, we'd make sure he got the ball back to it. I didn't want to stay anywhere close to him, and maybe him like turn his ankle or whatever. But that was the game, like in the first quarter, where he got hurt. He got hurt in the Carolina game, and he ended up, it was like a high ankle sprain, I think is what it was, and he ended up, missing some the next parts of that season, and was hurt in the playoffs. And so, I was actually playing basketball with him earlier that day. That was also the game that I got pink eye in the middle of the game. So I don't know how I wrote a story on the way back. Couldn't even see my computer. Got my badge ripped off of me by the security 2 years ago. Saw a playoff game there that was pretty awful in 2003. That's when I realized that when teams have the white towels, you're not going to win. It's like, you're not winning. Not in the playoffs. If they have the towels and they're over there waving them, L. And so, no, I don't have the best memories of Carolina. We'll see if we can get one this week. All right, let's go to Sebastian in Savannah, Georgia. Sebastian, what's up?
Oh, I tell you what's going on there, Mr. Eatman. The sun is out. It's raining outside, but the sun is shining in my life. The Philadelphia Eagles done took a major L. So let's just talk about this for a second. In my Uncle Ruckus voice, if I may. Don't trust them new Eagles over there. Boy, that Super Bowl hangover show is strong. Look here, we do what we're supposed to do this weekend, Mr. Eatman. We're going to get ourselves a half game out of first place. It's a beautiful way to be living our lives right now. And I just want to say to the Philadelphia Eagles, thank you so much for the early birthday presents. And to Cowboys Nations, in all seriousness, right? I want to send some love and positivity you guys this way. You guys have a great weekend. Cowboys win. I'm going to go 33-28. You have a great day, Mr. Freeman.
You too, Sebastian. I think that was Sebastian. Call in earlier this week. Obviously, different mood. It sounds like everything's going good. Everyone's like, shout out to Sebastian. Hope he's doing good. I think you're doing fine. But good to hear from you. And 33-28. All right, we'll see. And one of those that already won a little bit with the Eagles losing. But then again, they lost to the Giants. The Giants are right there as well. They've beaten the Chargers. Could have easily won this game against the Cowboys. So it's going to be a wide open division for sure. Let's take one more break. Cowboys storyline. I'll be right back after this.
All right, Cowboys fans, this one's for you. Gillette's Best Shave has a new look this season, and they've got one that sticked out in Cowboys colors just for us. We're going to want to run, not walk to this one, y'all. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor isn't just Gillette's best shave. With 50% longer lasting blades than Fusion, it's the best a Cowboys fan can get. Get it while you can at Gillette.com/NFL. Gillette's Best Shave is also available as heated.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, back here on Cowboys Storyline. This segment presented by Yeti, officially licensed Yeti. Cowboys gear is now available. Stadium Pro Shops, concession, and Yeti.com. All right, Chris in San Angelo is next. Chris, what's up?
Hey, Mr. Nick, how you doing, bud?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. First of all, there's been a lot of coaching talk, and I was talking to Travis. I was responding to him the other day, and I said, I'm starting to get worried about all the burn that the new offensive coordinator is getting. So I was like, why don't we slow down? Because selfishly, I'd like to keep the guy around for a couple more years. So I was like, he's getting a lot of kicks. So anyway, but as far as this next game, I know Friday's a hot ticket, so I'll go quick. I think the Panthers definitely better than the Jets, but with this coaching staff and the progression, I feel like it's a different thing. So I see us getting through this. And since we're 0-2 against teams this season that have animal mascots, we're about to go 1-2 and tame the Panthers, and we will win. I have the same score as Sebastian, but I'm not changing it. I'm going to go 33-28.
All right.
On a goal line stop on Rico in the final minutes.
What if he fumbled backwards and his quarterback, he was diving for the goal line to win the game like he was in Pittsburgh and fumbled, but this time they don't get the fumble. I don't think it's going to be that close. Maybe.
Well, I'm not to the point. I would love to see one of those games, Nick, where we just do to a team, get them talking about if they even remember how to play football on that day, that sort of thing. But I don't know if we're ready for that.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see it. But I'll stick with the safe one here.
Okay.
If I get more confidence later, I will call a few blowouts. Who knows?
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, that's what I got for you, my friend.
All right. Sounds good. I wanted to say something earlier when Zach in Germany called and given some love to Shoddy about, usually when this team has an injury, they go in the tank. I think we should be fair to Mike McCarthy on this. That isn't always the case. I've seen this team. Cooper Rush has led this team to 4 wins in a row, and he's won a lot of the games that he's had to play, and that's the most significant injury that you can have is to have your starting quarterback go down for multiple games, and they figured out ways to win. They won games, some without Tyron, some without Zach Martin. So just to be fair, like I get it. It's easy to kind of live in the moment and go, well, we never win when we have injuries. McCarthy did a good job. 12-5, 3 years in a row now. 12-5. They had injuries all 3 of those seasons. They figured out ways to do it. So I like what Shoddy's doing. I like listening to him in the press conferences, walking around the hallway. He's just a cool dude. That's what he is. And I think he's got a good message. But I don't want to just say, well, it's all different now, and they weren't that way before. The Cowboys could win games with having some injuries. All right, Steven from Helotes, Texas. Is that right? Helotes?
Helotes.
What's up, man?
Well, great show. I love your comments. I love listening to the show. I apologize first off if I'm asking a question that you've already answered.
Well, first of all, hold on. First of all, let me cut you off. You're a first-time caller. You know what that means. Bingo! All right. Here we go. We got to get you in for the first time. All right. So, hey, it's your first call. Even if you repeat, that's okay. What do you got?
Well, years ago, you were going to recall this. We made a big trade or a big deal, and we got Charles Haley. And you know what that did to the team. And right. I'm suggesting this year, with the trade deadline coming up soon, that we go after Trey Henderson or Max Crosby. And I want to know your feelings on that. We've got draft picks that don't help us until next year, or we can use them to help us this year.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, all right. Well, thank you for the call. Different world. 1992 was a different world. Salary cap wasn't there yet. A little different. It's easier to get rid of players just because they didn't fit into the culture at the time. It's harder to trade these guys now, especially the ones that have big contracts. But it's not impossible. I mean, obviously we've seen it, but it's got to be at the right spot of their deal, where the team that's, they don't want to lose a lot. I mean, remember, no one even talked about this, but the Packers had to, they had to eat a lot on the salary cap just to trade Kenny Clark. Maybe a $10 million hit just for that trade. So when you're trading guys like that, it's not as easy as it was. Not talking specific players, but yeah, I mean, if it works for the Cowboys to go and get a player that can help them right now, you can tell that they need some help in the pass rush and some consistent pass rush, a guy that you're kind of worried about. Yeah, if that guy's out there that you can trade for, he's going to be on your team next year, next couple of years. You see him being a good fit for the next few years. Because remember, when you draft a player with your first-round pick, you expect him to be a really great player, be a Pro Bowl player. So if you're going to give up a first-round pick or even a second-round pick, you better expect this guy's going to be a contributor for you for 4 or 5 years. Now you get into the third, fourth, that's when you start to see the rental picks, so like the trades like we have for Pickens. But I think the Cowboys will be looking. There's no doubt about it. They got to find the right spot. But the more that this team kind of keeps coming on, you may not want to trade a first-round pick for it. It just depends who's open. It's still early for not just the Cowboys, but for every team. There's even at 0-5. I mean, the Jets are thinking they're trying to figure out how to win, get some games, get some wins, and try to get to the playoffs. So what my point is every team in the league still has that. We're not trying to sell just yet. That's why they've moved the deadline back, because it is such a parity league now. You never know how things are going to be. Remember, the Cowboys were 3-5 when they traded for Amari Cooper. 3-5, and people were probably already talking about mock drafts and things like that. And they traded for him, and they went 10-6 and got to the playoffs, and that whole season changed. So we'll see if something like that were to happen. All right. I think the phone lines are open, so this is a good time to pretty much end the show unless there's
one last call.
There is a caller? Okay. Let's go for that.
Lester in Minnesota.
All right, Lester.
Good morning, Nick.
How are you doing?
Hey, man, I'm doing good. How you doing?
Good. What's up?
It's good to hear from Sebastian. I'm glad to hear that he's sounding real strong out there. So
Sure.
Kudos to him. As I was watching the game last night, I'm glad I was rooting for the Giants. They won. Now, once we win, we'll be a half game out. My player to watch for this game will be Hoffman. Protect Dak, run the ball, play action pass, throw the ball Dak.
All right.
Go Cowboys.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Well, yeah, I mean, Hoffman, all he does is the offense just seems to thrive when he's there playing center or guard, whatever. There's never been a letdown there. I can't even remember or recall a snap or two where you're like, man, that's Hoffman. That's why he's a backup. No. I mean, you don't even hear about him. And the same with Bass. Both those guys play really well. And it always feels like they play together. Like, it's when one of them's in, the other one's in. So that's kind of a product of the injury bug that's hit this team at the same position. It happened, 4 starters out on offense, 2 for the wide receivers, 4 for the offensive line. So Bass and Hoffman, they play well together. They played a lot of preseason games next to each other. They play a lot of regular season games. Seems to be going really well. All right, great week. It's a good show today and a good week. A lot of fun hearing from you guys. Got good 12 calls today. See what the Cowboys can do in Carolina. We'll be back on Monday to talk about it. So for Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman. See you next week on Cowboy Storyline.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!